Ladies and gentlemen, in a world filled with constant noise, endless competition, and relentless pursuit of success, the true art of living lies not in excess, but in balance. Harmony and balance are not just philosophical ideas. They are practical tools that can bring peace to our minds, strength to our relationships, and meaning to our existence. When harmony is present, life flows smoothly. When balance is achieved, we no longer chase extremes. Instead, we create stability that allows growth, happiness, and wisdom. Let us explore the 8 guiding principles that help us live a life of harmony and balance. In today's world, we are often taught that success belongs only to those who never stop working. Those who rise before dawn, burn the midnight oil, and sacrifice sleep in the name of ambition. While hard work is indeed important, what many forget is that the human body and mind are not machines. We are designed to function in rhythms, just like day balances with night, and the seasons balance one another. When we overwork, we may achieve temporary gains, but we slowly drain our energy, weaken our focus, and even damage our health. Rest, on the other hand, is not laziness. It is a vital ingredient for renewal. A mind that rests becomes sharper. A body that recovers becomes stronger. In fact, some of the world's greatest ideas and innovations have emerged not during intense work, but during moments of pause, reflection, or even sleep. Balance between work and rest also creates sustainability. Imagine a candle. If you let it burn endlessly without pause, it will quickly consume itself and disappear. But if you protect its flame, giving it the right environment, it can light the way for a long time. The same is true for our energy. True balance doesn't mean working less, it means working smarter. It means setting boundaries where work ends and life begins. It means valuing rest as much as we value effort. Understanding that productivity is not measured by how busy we are, but by how effectively we use our time and energy. When we strike this balance, we no longer live in extremes. We work with focus and passion, and we rest with peace and gratitude. This cycle creates a rhythm of life that is not only productive, but also deeply fulfilling. Every human being is born with a deep need for connection. From the very beginning of our lives, we seek warmth, care, and understanding. As we grow, our relationships with family, friends, colleagues, and loved ones become the foundation upon which our happiness and stability rest. Yet, harmony in relationships is not automatic. It requires effort, awareness, and balance. True harmony comes when there is mutual respect, when each person's voice is heard and valued. Too often, conflicts arise not because people stop caring, but because they stop listening. Listening is more than waiting for our turn to speak. It is the willingness to step into the other person's perspective, to understand their emotions, even when we may not agree with their words. Balance in relationships also means knowing when to give and when to hold back, when to speak, and when to remain silent. Sometimes love is expressed through action, other times through patience. If one person constantly gives without receiving, the relationship becomes a burden. If one always takes without offering, it becomes hollow. Harmony requires both sides to flow like a river, giving life but also drawing from it. Another key to harmony is compromise. Many people fear compromise, believing it means weakness or defeat. But in truth, compromise is strength, the ability to meet halfway, to value the relationship more than the ego. It is not about losing. It is about choosing peace over pride. Emotional balance is equally important. No relationship is free from disagreements, But harmony is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of understanding during conflict. When both people learn to control anger, to express feelings without cruelty, and to forgive without holding grudges, the bond grows stronger, not weaker. Finally, harmony in relationships flourishes in authenticity. Pretending, hiding, or trying to control others only creates distance. But when we bring our true selves forward, with honesty, vulnerability, and kindness, we create a space where love, trust, and respect can thrive naturally. The human mind is like an ocean, calm on some days, stormy on others. Our emotions are the waves that rise and fall upon its surface. If we allow those waves to control us, we may feel tossed around, directionless and overwhelmed. But if we learn to balance our thoughts with our emotions, we gain the ability to navigate life with clarity and strength. Mental and emotional equilibrium does not mean we eliminate emotions. It means we give them their rightful place. Anger, sadness, joy, and fear all have a purpose. Anger can show us injustice. Sadness can remind us of what truly matters. Joy inspires us to live fully, and fear can protect us from harm. The problem arises when one emotion dominates us, clouding our judgment and disrupting our peace. To achieve balance, we must first cultivate awareness. Awareness is the ability to step back and observe our inner world without being trapped by it. Instead of saying, "I am angry," we begin to say, "I notice that I feel anger." That small shift creates space between us and our emotions, giving us control instead of being controlled. Equilibrium also requires nurturing the mind. Just as we feed our body with healthy food, we must feed our mind with positive thoughts, wisdom, and reflection. What we read, what we watch, the conversations we engage in, all of these either strengthen or weaken our mental stability. A distracted, overstimulated mind cannot find harmony, but a focused, disciplined mind becomes a source of peace. On the emotional side, balance is built through expression. Bottling up feelings can poison the heart, while uncontrolled outbursts can damage relationships. The middle path is to express emotions with honesty, but also with compassion. When we can say, "I feel hurt," instead of lashing out, we honor both ourselves and the other person. Practices such as meditation, journaling, or even mindful breathing help restore balance between the chaos of thoughts and the intensity of feelings. Over time, they create an inner center, a place we can return to no matter how turbulent life becomes. From this center, decisions become clearer, relationships grow healthier, and our daily lives feel less like a struggle and more like a flow. The body and the spirit are often seen as separate, but in truth, they are deeply interconnected. Our body is the vessel through which we experience life, and our spirit is the essence that gives life meaning. If one is neglected, the other suffers. When the body is weak, even the brightest spirit feels burdened. When the spirit is lost, even the strongest body feels empty. True harmony comes when we care for both equally. The body requires discipline. It needs movement, nourishment, and rest. Exercise strengthens not only muscles but also resilience. Proper nutrition fuels clarity of thought, and adequate sleep repairs both the body and the mind. Neglecting these simple foundations leads to fatigue, illness, and lack of focus, making it difficult for the spirit to shine. But the body alone cannot bring fulfillment. A healthy body without a nurtured spirit can still feel restless, directionless, and unsatisfied. The spirit needs its own nourishment. Reflection, values, purpose, and connection to something greater than ourselves. Some find this connection in faith, others in meditation, creativity, or service to others. Whatever the path, the spirit thrives when it feels aligned with meaning. Balance between body and spirit also protects us from extremes. If we chase only physical achievements, wealth, strength, appearance, we risk emptiness when those fade. If we chase only spiritual ideals while ignoring the body, we may struggle with health, energy, or the ability to act on our purpose. Harmony lies in honoring both dimensions, knowing that they work together, not against each other. When body and spirit are in balance, life feels whole, energy flows naturally, decisions become easier, because they are guided by both practical wisdom and inner values. The body gives us the strength to pursue our dreams, and the spirit ensures those dreams have depth and direction. At first glance, discipline and freedom may seem like opposites. Discipline is often associated with rules, structure, and restraint, while freedom is linked to spontaneity, choice, and limitless expression. Yet, when we look closer, we discover that the two are not enemies but partners. True balance in life emerges when we learn to walk the fine line between discipline and freedom. Discipline is the framework that shapes our potential. Without it, our energy scatters, our talents remain undeveloped, and our goals drift further away. It is discipline that teaches us to wake up on time, to practice skills, to manage our responsibilities, and to honor our commitments. Discipline is not a prison, it is a tool of mastery. Freedom, on the other hand, is the essence of being alive. It is the ability to make choices, to create, to explore, and to express ourselves authentically. Without freedom, discipline becomes suffocating, a rigid cage that robs life of joy and spontaneity. Freedom allows us to dream, to take risks, and to grow beyond boundaries. The challenge, then, is not to choose one over the other, but to balance them wisely. Too much discipline without freedom leads to a mechanical existence, productive, perhaps, but joyless and uninspired. Too much freedom without discipline leads to chaos, exciting at first, but unstable and ungrounded. Balance allows us to enjoy the best of both, the structure to progress steadily and the openness to live fully. Consider an artist. Without discipline, their vision remains an idea never brought to life. But without freedom, their art becomes rigid, lifeless, and repetitive. The beauty comes when discipline gives form to creativity and freedom breathes life into structure. The same applies to every aspect of life, whether in careers, relationships, or personal growth. To live between discipline and freedom is to respect order while embracing flexibility. It means following routines that empower us, not enslave us. It means allowing ourselves the freedom to explore, but with the wisdom to stay grounded. In this balance, we find both stability and expansion, both progress and joy. Nature is not something outside of us, it is a part of us. Every breath we take, every meal we eat, every drop of water we drink comes from the natural world. Yet in modern times, many of us have grown distant from this truth, living as though we are separate from the earth rather than deeply connected to it. To live in harmony with nature is to recognize this bond and to honor it through the way we live. When we observe nature, we see balance everywhere. The seasons shift in rhythm. Day follows night, rivers carve paths slowly but with purpose. Nothing in nature rushes, yet everything is accomplished. Trees do not compete to grow taller. They simply rise toward the light, each at its own pace. This quiet wisdom teaches us patience, balance, and flow. But harmony with nature is not just about learning from it. It is also about protecting it. Human progress has often come at the cost of environmental destruction. Forests are cut down, oceans are polluted, and air is filled with toxins. This imbalance harms not only the earth but also us, for we are inseparable from the ecosystems we damage. To harm nature is to harm ourselves. Living in harmony with nature begins with small acts of awareness. Choosing sustainability in what we consume, reducing waste, respecting animals, and appreciating the resources we often take for granted. It is in pausing to watch a sunrise, in listening to the sound of rain, in breathing deeply when surrounded by trees. These moments remind us that we are not masters of the earth, but caretakers. Nature also restores balance within us. A walk in the forest, the sound of the ocean, or the stillness of a mountain landscape has the power to calm the mind and soothe the heart. Modern life often pulls us into noise and distraction, but nature invites us into silence and reflection. It reminds us of simplicity, that true wealth is not in possessions, but in the ability to feel connected to life itself. When we cultivate harmony with nature, we begin to live more gently, more consciously, and more gratefully. We stop rushing against the current and instead flow with it, realizing that just as the earth provides for us, we too must provide care for the earth. Human connection thrives on the flow of giving and receiving. Just like the inhale and exhale of breath, both are necessary for life. Yet, many of us struggle with this balance. Some give endlessly, pouring themselves into others until they are drained. Others receive constantly, taking without contributing, leaving relationships and communities unbalanced. True harmony is found when giving and receiving move together in equal rhythm. Giving is a beautiful act. When we give, whether it is time, love, kindness, or resources, we create bonds, uplift others, and contribute to the greater good. Generosity expands the heart and teaches us humility. However, giving without limit can lead to exhaustion. Like a well that is never replenished, we eventually run dry if we ignore our own needs. Over-giving can also create dependency, where others stop growing because they rely too heavily on what we provide. Receiving, on the other hand, is often misunderstood. Many people feel guilty when they accept help, love, or kindness as though they are weak or unworthy. But receiving is not weakness. It is a recognition that we are human, that we cannot do everything alone. To receive gracefully is to allow others the joy of giving. Just as we feel fulfilled when we help others, others feel fulfilled when they can support us in return. The balance lies in openness. When we give, we must give without pride or expectation. When we receive, we must receive without shame or resistance. This mutual exchange creates trust, equality, and harmony. It prevents relationships from tipping into imbalance, where one person feels burdened and the other feels indebted. Life itself models this rhythm. The earth gives us food, air, and water, but it also receives from us care, respect, and gratitude. Friendships flourish when both sides contribute equally. Communities thrive when help flows in both directions. Even within ourselves, there is a balance. We give effort to our goals, and we receive the rewards of growth and achievement. When we learn to balance giving and receiving, we create cycles of abundance. Energy flows freely, love deepens, and no one is left empty. Both sides feel valued, supported, and connected, and life becomes richer in meaning. At the heart of all balance lies one essential element: inner peace. Without it, even the most carefully planned life feels unsettled. We may succeed in our careers, maintain our relationships, and achieve our goals, but if our inner world is filled with chaos, anxiety, or restlessness, we cannot experience true harmony. Inner peace is not an escape from life's challenges. It is the strength to face them without losing our center. Inner peace begins with acceptance. Many of us live in constant resistance, resisting what has happened in the past, fearing what might come in the future, and struggling against what is happening in the present. This constant battle exhausts the mind and drains the spirit. Peace comes when we learn to accept reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Acceptance does not mean giving up, it means working from a place of clarity instead of conflict. Another path to inner peace is letting go. We carry grudges, regrets, and negative self-talk as if they are heavy stones in our pockets. The more we cling to them, the heavier life feels. To let go is to free ourselves from burdens we were never meant to carry forever. Forgiveness, both of others and of ourselves, is one of the most powerful ways to release this weight and restore balance within. Stillness is also essential. In the modern world, we are constantly surrounded by noise, notifications, deadlines, opinions, distractions. True peace cannot be found in external noise. It must be cultivated in internal stillness. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply moments of silence, stillness gives us the space to reconnect with ourselves. In stillness, we discover that peace is not something to chase. It is something already within us, waiting to be uncovered. Inner peace also requires alignment between our values and our actions. When we live in contradiction, saying one thing but doing another, following paths that do not reflect who we truly are, we create inner conflict. Harmony is restored when our choices reflect our deepest values, when the life we live outside matches the truth we hold inside. Most importantly, inner peace allows us to face life's storms with resilience. Challenges will come, losses will happen, and uncertainties will remain. But with peace inside, we learn to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing ourselves. Just as a calm lake reflects the sky clearly, a peaceful heart reflects wisdom, compassion, and clarity into every area of life. Harmony and balance are not destinations we reach once and for all. They are daily practices, choices we make in every moment to balance work with rest, to nurture relationships, to align our mind and emotions, to care for both body and spirit, to walk between discipline and freedom, to live gently with nature, to give and receive with openness, and to root everything in inner peace. This is the true art of living. When we embody harmony, our lives stop feeling like a struggle against chaos and instead become a graceful rhythm. Balance does not remove challenges, but it gives us the wisdom to face them with clarity, the strength to endure them with resilience, and the peace to move forward with purpose. So let us not chase extremes, but seek the middle path. Let us not only exist, but live in alignment. And let us remember that harmony is not something we wait to find outside of us. It begins within, and from there, it flows into the world around us.